Right, guys, the end of another day. It's Friday, which would usually mean the end of another working week, but I'm working tomorrow as well. I don't usually work on weekends, but yeah, it's been a bit crazy this week since my boss took time off and didn't tell any of us that he's going on holiday. So, yeah, anyway, we managed to pick up the pieces. Things are running all right now. But yeah, I'm working tomorrow. Yeah, which is all right. I don't mind. Not the full day. We're not open full day on Saturday, and then yeah, Sunday we're closed. Um, but yeah, that's all be good tomorrow because I'll get paid. I'll get paid extra, given it's a Saturday. So yeah. Anyway, we're getting up there in the days, closing in on the day 90 milestone, which is wow, wow, cuz it's been quite a while since I've been this high up in the days, and honestly, I don't know what's really changed. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know what it was these last 2 years that has prevented me. 2 years? Has it been 2 years? I don't even know. I've had so many channels over the years now, but pretty sure my last time getting above 90 days was like 2 years ago. Damn, I have to check that. I have to go back in my archives and have a look at old videos. I think it was 2 years ago, roughly, that I last went above like 90 or 100 days, something like that. Like these last 2 years has been a real struggle. Like I'm now like well over a year clean from porn. It's been something like 460 days almost since I last watched that stuff. So like that's done. That's taken care of. I'm completely porn free now. I don't even think about that stuff anymore. But when it comes to semen retention, it's I don't know. I was struggling for the uh last like 1.5, 2 years to get a longer streak going. Like it wasn't like the old days really. Like it wasn't so much of a problem. Like I could still go like a few weeks, but I don't know. I was struggling just to go more than a few weeks and get up there in the days. That now it's like it's effortless. I had some urges like here and there, but I don't know. I've had long periods in the last like it's almost 3 months now. In the last few months, I've had long periods of like almost no urges whatsoever, and this has honestly now been one of the easiest streaks for me, to the sense that I don't even think of this as a streak anymore. The day count is only here just for documentation purposes on these videos, but I don't even think much about it at all anymore. But yeah, anyway, like for a long time, I've been very curious what it would be like to be on semen retention long term, and now I'm ready to make a commitment. Yes, yes, this is going to be very, very significant, isn't it? Yeah. I've been quite wary of making any big statements and like these big goals, but no, I think it's time. I think it's time. So I'm not committing to be on semen retention for the rest of my life. That's not something that I'm not at that stage. But what I do want to do, I want to commit to being on semen retention for 1 year. A year. That's been at the back of my mind for quite a while. Wanting to see what it would be like after being on semen retention for a year. Not for any specific reason other than my own curiosity, because I've experienced what it's like to be on longer streaks, let's say, a few months. Yeah. I mean, I don't remember what my longest streak was. I think it was around 5 months or a bit longer. But yeah, I've been curious what it's like getting higher up in the days and like even going like a year. Like I've made connections in this community, right? Shout out. I can give shout outs to a few people, but yeah, most recently like 24/7 Betterment. He's reached a year before, and yeah, we pretty much like I think he started documenting his journey doing NoFap videos a bit before me, but we started pretty much the same time, and then we were sort of on similar trajectories. But then the last 2 years I sort of fizzled out a little bit. I found it quite difficult to get back on track. And yeah, I mean, it's been a while. Like he has since relapsed uh, several times. But he did go ahead, like he did make that commitment that he wanted to get to a year, and he went ahead and achieved that. So anyway, but this is not about anyone else. This is about me. So anyway, I've seen him just as an example, and yeah, I've seen a few other guys in this community that have managed to achieve a year. And now, in a sense, I feel like the torch is now passed to me. Now it's finally my turn to finish what I started. So yeah, it's time to commit. I'm going to be on SEMA retention for a year. After the year, well, we'll reevaluate then. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. But for right now, the commitment is a year. And yeah, after then, we'll reevaluate. We'll see what happens after the year. But I want to at least go for a year and really see what changes. How does my life change? Because in we're almost at 90 days or 3 months. And in that time, I've noticed some significant changes, especially in the last few weeks. I've noticed I had some interesting experiences, right? Um, I've had a few examples where you could say it's like a women attraction story. I've had some of those experiences where I've really noticed the women attraction. Not just that though. People talk about women attraction on here. A lot of guys mention that. I've noticed just in general, like interactions with people in general, like have changed, and I don't think that's necessarily because anyone else has changed. Like, oh, suddenly people treat you differently, or all that, or suddenly it's like women are attracted to you. I don't think it's like that at all. I think it's more so just how I act, how I carry myself, that has changed, and definitely I have gained more confidence in the last few months. Or I should say regained confidence, because I've had times in the past where I became a lot more confident. But yeah, I don't know, the last while I made all these big promises, and then I was never staying true to my word. And that really, like, if you make a commitment and you don't stick to it, like maybe once you could say, all right, I messed up, I'll get back up and try again. But it happens again and again and again, and it just slowly erodes away at your confidence. And it doesn't take a lot to lose confidence, unfortunately, but it does take a lot of time and effort to build that confidence back up again. And it's taken a lot, but I am building myself back up, building up that confidence. And yeah, I'm just grateful where I am right now. And it's so interesting. I just really don't know what has changed compared to I don't even know, like, because I was making some good progress for a few years where I was gradually getting longer and longer streaks, able to getting to the point of cutting out porn, but which I've done permanently now. But I don't know. I don't know what it was initially that um so over the last 2 years, I don't know, like after having seen some success, I don't know what it was that allowed that led me to suddenly, in a sense, regress a little bit, and just I was struggling to get longer streaks going again over the last 2 years, 2 years or so. And what has changed now that suddenly I've been able to break free? Well, one suspicion, right, is being stress is way lower. Stress is way lower. Like, there's still stress, of course. There's still difficult days here and there, but no, stress is way lower now. Because it's interesting. Like, so, well, all right. I'm not going to go into any uni stuff now. That's still a work in progress, right? Sorting all this out. But anyway, like I pretty much was under the impression that I had finished uni, right? And yeah, the last trimester that I did, right? Like it was a busy one. The last two trimesters that I did were like crazy, really busy, a lot of stress. But I completed them, and anyway, it's interesting. Since um, finishing my last university trimester, I have not fapped. That's yeah, it was like the last few weeks I really got my act together, and I just finished it off on a strong note. And then since then, I have not fapped. No, sir. So yeah, that there might be some connection there as to lower stress. That's what enabled me to get out of that rut. But yeah, the last 2 years I was sort of in that rut. And actually, yeah, wow, 2 years, yeah. What's interesting about that? What's interesting about that? The time that I was in that rut, really the last 2 years almost, roughly coincides with my current job. Now, I've had some ups and downs with this job, and it looked quite promising at first, but gradually there's been more and more red flags, and now I'm at the point where it's like, it's time to move on. Time to get out of there. Time to move on. So, anyway, the next half a year, I'm going to try to actually sort out all my uni stuff, actually graduate. That's going to happen. I'm going to get there one way or another, even though there's been a few annoyances and some setbacks recently with me not actually being finished. I need 2 more units. I'm still waiting for the final response from the uni support. They said they'll get back to me on that. What my next step should be, but and like potential options for like supplementary assessment, late enrollment, and just trying to get everything sorted as early as possible. I'm still waiting to hear back on that. But where was I even going with this? Yeah, yeah, life is good. Life is good. Like I'm actually making concrete improvements now. Concrete improvements. And yeah, regardless of that, I'm still pushing ahead. I'm still pushing ahead with searching for a job in my field of study, right? That is the goal now. The goal is to get a ranger or similar type of role. And yeah, I've got the interview for that position in Toowoomba next on Tuesday. So yeah, fingers crossed that goes well. I'm quite very confident that I'll get something very soon. And yeah, just life is good. Life is good. It could always be better, but it could also be a lot worse. Believe me, I have had a lot worse than this. A lot worse. I'm in a really good position, and yeah, it's just interesting that yeah, pretty much finishing off the main part of my studies, lower stress. Now I'm able to go on a longer streak again. But the last 2 years, I just have not been able to. Like believe me, I've tried, and I've just been stuck in this rut. It's like being in this hamster wheel, right? And I've made some progress, especially over the last year. Like I've managed to cut out porn, but semen retention, that's a whole other beast in and of itself. Let me tell you. So, yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Roughly coinciding with me starting this job, it that's when I started to struggle once again. Because before that, I was working at the dairy for a few years, and the dairy, oh man, that was a lot of ups and downs during that time. But overall, I have to say, compared to my current job, I have to say I like the dairy better. Would I go back to dairy? Hell no, hell no. I would not want to go back to that. It's tough, grueling, dirty work, and the pay's not good. I don't want to go back to dairy, but there are certain minute aspects that, compared to my current job, that I do miss, right? That I do appreciate now. Which I did appreciate it at the time, but in hindsight, I do appreciate some of those aspects of the dairy job that I was at more. And yeah, while that was my first job after moving out to this region, and oh man, the growth and evolution during that time was crazy, really crazy, really. That's really was a chapter of my life that really formed me into who I am today. That really made me who I am. It almost broke me as well, but in the end, we got through, and it made me into who I am today. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like where my current job fits in. It's been a really strange experience the last 2 years. Very, very strange. But I've known for a while that something's not quite right, and it sounded promising, but now it's at the point where nope, it's just holding me back. I need to move on and finally make some inroads into a long-term career. And look, I'm not even necessarily convinced that I'm the type of person that just choosing a career path and just sticking with that for the rest of my life. I'm not even convinced that that's what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, like, I have more options now before. I want to have options. So yeah, I want to get into some full-time work, stack up, and yeah, we'll see where we go from there. Will I be in that if I choose that as a career path? Would I might be in that for a while. Doesn't mean I'm going to be in it for my whole life. Possibly, possibly not. We will see. We will see. But yeah, overall, I'm in a good position now, and yeah, the torch has been passed to me. So I commit to being on semen retention for at least a year, and no matter what, we're going to achieve that now. We are. In the next few videos, I will talk about some interesting experiences I've had with women attraction recently, and just like just growing confidence and just social anxiety no longer exists in my life. Like, I've pretty much completely conquered social anxiety, and yeah, I've become more social. People tend to treat me differently now, and I don't know. I've really changed. I really have. Like, in the past, I've watched some of my really old videos, and I would look at them and think, damn, I'm just going in circles. I haven't progressed at all. Now I look back at videos from even only like 2 years ago, right? And I'm like, damn, I really have changed in that time. I'm not the same person anymore. So that's it. I'm very excited to now really head into uncharted territory for me. I'm not the first one. There's been plenty of other guys that have been on this path throughout history. Many men throughout history have been on this path, or a similar path, I should say, not my path. Like, all of our paths, right, are different. Take anyone around the world. Like, no one's path is exactly the same, right? But certain paths perhaps might do rhyme. Like, there's also this saying that I really do like, which is history doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme. Yeah, history doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme. Yeah, that's an interesting perspective to have. History doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme. So I'm by no means doing something that hasn't been done before. There have been guys throughout history. There are guys doing it right now. There are guys that have done it throughout history, and there are guys that will do it in the future. This path of becoming, yeah, yeah. Just you can finish that. You can finish that sentence. Um, yes. That's basically it. Hope you all enjoyed. I'm gonna have an early one. I am really tired, but yeah, still working tomorrow. And apart from that, catch you all in the next one. Onwards and upwards. 1 year of semen retention. Here we go.